When people are like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like if you're a broke boy, just say so. Anyway.
You know what, guys, when I heard those words, I knew I had to buy these cookies because there's one thing on this earth I refuse to be called. You know, you can pretty much insult me in any way you want, but one insult I will not accept is when someone calls me poor.
Like if you're a broke boy, just say so.
So from there, I took the only logical action and ordered the 4-pack of Pokimane Cookies. And let me just say, you can probably hear it in my voice a little bit right now, I am sick, and unfortunately that sickness is not blocking my sense of taste. Because for now, let's just make it very clear, these are definitely not going to be winning any awards whatsoever for being one of the better tasting cookies out there. So I ordered my Pokimane Cookies. I selected the 2 to 4 day shipping method. Of course, it took over a week to get here because UPS sucks. And if you want to label any aspect of this entire cookie drama a scam, I think you can point to that, man. I don't think I've ever had a UPS package arrive on time, but when the cookies did arrive, man, I have to say I was pretty impressed with the presentation. They come in like this highlighter orange neon box with the branding all over it. On the front flap, it says real ingredients, unreal taste, which honestly I'd wish the taste was not real because they didn't taste very good. But overall, I would say the presentation and unboxing experience is pretty nice. When you pop the tape on the sides, you open up the front flap. It's actually a pretty nice presentation in all honesty. But when you first open the box, you'll be greeted to this Myna card, which I thought was actually signed by Pokimane, dude. I thought I had a real life valuable collectible here, but unfortunately for all you Poke fans out there like myself, you know, the signature is not actually real. It is printed on the card, which was really disappointing, man. But, you know, I shouldn't have gotten my hopes up, but I did. But anyway, don't let my small yet hairy hands deceive you. These bags are not as large as they look. They're pretty small. They're about 4 ounces each, but overall, I must say, man, the presentation is pretty top-notch in all honesty, which, I mean, for $7 bags of cookies, you kind of expect that because you're obviously not buying this for like the fucking value of the snack. You're buying it as kind of like a luxury slash influencer merch purchase. I mean, basically, if you do the math, which is 4 times 7 times 4, because you get 4 servings per bag, 7 cookies per serving, and 4 bags for about $30 total after all said and done. You're looking at about 25 cents a cookie, which isn't anything too crazy in my opinion, but you're definitely not getting the deal of a lifetime here, which, I mean, if you're buying this with that intention, I don't really know what to tell you because that's not what this fucking thing is. But when you open the bag of cookies, you'll notice the first thing is these motherfuckers are dusty, dude. These are definitely those type of cookies that when you reach in the bag, you're gonna have like 100 fucking crumbs stuck to your hand wherever you touch the actual cookies. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what the overall texture and feel of these cookies are. But even then, it's a little more strange than that, especially when you start to taste them. But yeah, here's a clip for me trying them live on stream last night. It smells like coffee, dude. I don't know if I'm gonna like these. All right, I know exactly what it tastes like. It tastes like a stale Oreo with less flavor and a really weird texture. It's got like a grainy texture to it. You can definitely taste like the coconut in there. I don't know. It's odd. It's very fucking odd. I don't really even know how to describe it. It does not have a very strong flavor to it. It has a very weird texture when you're first chewing it, and also when it's kind of like lingering in your mouth. And I don't know. Tastes like a stale Oreo. Like, that's the best way I could describe it. Like, if you left an Oreo without the cream sitting on your counter overnight, or maybe a day or two, in a very moist house with a lot of moisture in the air, and it kind of got soggy but not wet, but stale, that's kind of the texture of this. The thing is that, that's odd, So, like, they have the little chips or whatever on it that are like cream or whatever. They're supposed to taste like Oreo cream, is my guess. You taste that more than the actual chocolate, which is a problem because 90% of the cookie's chocolate. So the chocolate flavor gets completely overpowered by like the cream chocolate chips, and it just doesn't have much, like, I guess, impact. Yeah, I don't know, dude. They're not anything special. I mean, they're going for the whole health food angle, which is stupid because it's like I always say, man, the only healthy cookie you're ever going to eat is the one you don't eat. There's nothing healthy about cookies. You'll never make a cookie healthy. So it's kind of a fool's errand. But, yeah. They definitely taste healthy compared to other cookies. Let me put it that way, and not in a great way. The texture's the weirdest thing to me. I think that's the most off-putting part. Like, they should have gone either full-blown, like, soft and chewy, or they should have gone full, like, crunchy. I think this kind of, like, weird, grainy in-between just doesn't hit right. It's kind of odd, man. It feels like they're purposely stale. One thing I would add to that, especially as the night progressed, I noticed that I had like little fibers in my mouth that would progressively like find their ways into being like loose around my mouth, which was just really weird. And I know that's from the coconut and the almond that's used as like the primary ingredients. I believe these cookies are made with literal coconut flour. So if you don't like the coconut texture, which I know a lot of people don't like coconut for the texture alone, definitely avoid these things, because for hours after eating them, I had little pieces of coconut floating around my mouth that weren't dissolving because of the fiber in coconut. So that aspect I really did not like whatsoever, and you definitely get that lingering aftertaste of coconut with the little particles floating around your mouth for hours after eating them. So that's something to keep in mind, and the texture on these is very fucking weird. When you bite into it, you're expecting like a crunch, but it's soft. It's like biting into the top part of an Oreo cookie that's thicker than normal that you left sitting out on your counter over a hot, humid summer night, and it absorbs the moisture in the air to where you're biting into what you think is a hard cookie, but it's actually soft because it's kind of wet still. And that's the best way I can describe it. Maybe that's not the best visual or mental image I can give you, but it's really as far as I could go, because the consistency of these cookies is very weird. You're expecting them to be like crunchy and hard, and that is not the case whatsoever. When you bite into them, they're actually soft, and they like completely disintegrate in your mouth because there's nothing really holding them together, which you notice when I dumped the bag, a lot of the cookies were already broken up. That was not me, that's just how they came. So they're very easy to break apart, and I think the consistency and just the ingredients used is the reason for that. Now, I did actually go to my local Costco to see if they had like the original version of these cookies that Pokimane kind of used as the basis. You know, well, I say basis, it's literally a one-to-one clone with the addition of vitamin D, because I guess she understands that the people who are going to be watching her are the type who are never going to fucking leave their house anyway and probably sit inside in their fucking cave watching Twitch streams all day. So I guess that's smart marketing from her perspective. But I did go to Costco to see if I could find like the original version of these, and I could not. They didn't have them at my store. So I wanted to see like possibly if there was any difference with the consistency and whether or not they have that same kind of like weird texture to them. But unfortunately, I was not able to find them, and honestly, I was not going to order them online because I really don't give a fuck that much. Yeah, overall, man, I would say that these are definitely a hard pass. If I had to give these like a final rating, I'd probably give it a 3 out of 10, man. I think the taste is nothing really special. You're not going to walk away from this cookie being like, oh my god, I want to eat these every single day of my life. I think the texture is the biggest takeaway. I hate the fact that after hours of me sitting there not eating these things, I'm still having little pieces of coconut fiber, you know, emerge from between my teeth and start floating around my mouth. I don't know, maybe that's just a personal pet peeve, but that whole texture and consistency of the cookie and the lingering particles that are left in your mouth was really aggravating, and I didn't like it. I think that's probably the worst part about these cookies, and overall, I don't think these are a scam like people are labeling them. They're just nothing special, and the reason you're buying these is obviously to support Pokimane, dude. You're buying this shit because you're a fan of Pokimane, not because you're looking for a great deal on cookies. cookies. People acting like they're expecting some budget tier offering, I think, are just being beyond disingenuous. And I think it's funny that certain YouTubers who literally made a video titled "Kids Today Wouldn't Survive a Modern Warfare 2 lobby," and then when you go to their own merch store, they're selling $12 individual fucking stickers, completely lost their shit over this Pokimane Cookies situation. So I think that is kind of ironic in all honesty, and there definitely was a lot of people throwing stones in their glass houses. This is a typical fucking white label influencer marketing tactic, and it's no different than what the entire food industry does. You know, big fucking shocker. People take generic foods or generic products in general across all industries, relabel them, and sell them for higher than what they paid for it. Welcome to the world of capitalism and the free market. Pokimane is not that smart and is definitely not reinventing the fucking wheel here. So personally, I don't really get the whole drama behind this. Like, I know people be like, but she called people poor. Who gives a fuck, dude? If it don't apply, let it fly. And if you're really that pressed about Pokimane calling you a fucking broke boy, then I only got one thing to say.
Get your money, I'm not your funny.
In the long list of issues that I personally have with Pokimane, I don't really think this ranks that high out of all the other shit I can think of. So, in all honesty, man, this entire drama just seems really overblown, and I do think it is funny, man. Just the amount of commentary YouTubers that talk about how soft the internet is and all this other shit, who collectively lost their fucking minds when Pokimane called people broke boys. I think that's the funniest part in this entire situation, is watching a bunch of grown men sit there on their fucking soapbox and virtue signal about how fucking holier than thou they are over Pokimane clearly making a fucking joke, dude. But I don't know. This whole situation is fucking retarded. Don't buy the cookies. They're expensive. They don't taste good, and you could probably do better pretty much anywhere else. So yeah, long story short, guys, don't fucking buy them. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time.